Wow. Okay, the class will be starting 11. But please mute your microphone. Hello, mute your microphone as you are coming in.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you guys? Hope you are enjoying the break as it is.
We're fine, sir.
Okay, good. All right. The class will be starting in 2 minutes. Use the chat.
I'm fine.
Hello, use the chat.
Okay, sir.
Use the chat. Don't talk except I ask you to talk. It will help us a long way rather than wasting our time, please. We have a lot of things to cover and I don't want to bore you with much.
Okay, sir.
Please, everybody, let's try to mute our microphone. If you are still saying, okay, sir, that means you've not mute your microphone. All right, so I need you to respond via chat now. Can you hear me audibly? I need you to respond via chat. And can you also see me audibly? Are we together? I'm expecting a response via chat now. This would help us a long way.
So I'm not seeing the chat icon.
Can you see what I just wrote? You are welcome. Are we together? Mute your microphone. Nimi, mute your microphone, please. I need to be sure that, okay, good. We have about 10 chats already. That's good. Adetola, you can't see me. Even till now. Utibe, Utibe, you are in, Utibe is in engineering, for crying out loud. It seems people from engineering are already accessing our platform, but no problem. Let's enjoy the class together. Okay, it's 11:01, and I think with this, I would like to welcome you all to this class. Okay, if you can see my screen now, I would like you to tell me what you can see. If you can see my screen now, I would like you to tell me what you can see.
MTH102 lecture.
Okay, is it the slide? Can you see the slide directly?
Yeah. Yes.
Those of you raising hands, let me see.
Raising hand.
Yeah, I got that. Someone is saying he can't hear me. Okay, good. All right, let the class start now. My name is, for the purpose of those that would not be able to be part of this online class, my name is Oladapo David Ifeoluwa. I'm a mathematics lecturer at Adeleke University Ede. Due to the ongoing stay-at-home syndrome that we are all facing in the world, we see it as a very important level for us to still engage our students even while they are in their different houses. We believe that leveraging on social media and online platform will help them enjoy school even while they are in their home. So the purpose of this class, we have commenced the class right from the beginning of this semester. We are in second semester, and we just want to continue the class. And today we'll be focusing mainly at differentiation. We had earlier talked about, please be careful what you are doing, just watch and ask questions only. We started the class with functions. We talked about functions being defined, undefined. We talked about limits and the likes. But today we'll be focusing majorly on differentiation. And today's class only, we look at examples on first principles. Differentiation is very interesting. Actually, a whole lot of persons have challenges with it because of the name. When they hear calculus, they feel like, how do I go about it? Please mute your microphone. It will help us. Mute your microphone. Mute your microphone to avoid distracting others. It's not yet time for attendance. It's not yet time for attendance. When it's time for attendance, I will ask you to take attendance. So for those of you that may want to take attendance and leave, it's not yet time for attendance. Okay. Like I was saying, we already have 68 participants. That's a good number for us. Okay, like I was saying, based on the definition you can see on the screen, differentiation literally can be defined as change. We are in the season of change. We are in the era of change. Nigeria, everything is change. It's just a basic understanding what this change is all about. That it is not one variable functions, but it is actually a mathematical process of finding a general expression for the gradient of a curve at any known point. Are we together? The best illustration is what I have here. Are we together? Can you see my pointer? If you can see my pointer, say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Good. All right. So you're saying
Hi.
the gradient of okay, good. So it is the gradient, as you can see the gradient is the rate at which a variable y increases with respect to another variable x. And this is very, very important for you to understand what this is all about. Are we together, class? Differentiation is just about checking out the change in a particular. Please mute your microphone. Mute your microphone. Okay, like I was saying, you have to understand that this is talking basically about change in a particular variable, however, in respect to another variable. And that's why you have us talk about the y, the x, a change occurring on y based on x, a change occurring on x based on y. Take, for instance, this example, engineering case study. Like in engineering, the variable could be flow of electric current and time. That is the change inflow of electric current in respect to time. I want to know that the level, how the current is being changed, maybe is increasing or decreasing with respect to time. Is it per seconds? Is it per hour? How many minutes per seconds is it changing? In sciences, you can have an example, because as you're beginning to look at this, you may need to check relevance to what is the relevance of this change, this differentiation we are talking about. What is its relevance to your field of study? For those of you in nursing, those of you in sciences, those of you in, especially people in microbiology, that they actually do a whole lot of experimental work. And this is what you will actually put to practice. Social science students also make use of this. You can see it may be the rate at which a new product is being demanded for, or expenditure over time. So these are the things when we are talking about differentiation. Just know that is talking about change of a particular variable with respect to another variable. The next time you hear about differentiation, know that it is actually the change of a particular variable with respect to the other. All right, now the focus of this morning's class is actually to look at first principle. There are different ways to which you can go about your differentiation. There are different methods, there are different patterns. However, the focus of this class, this morning's class, will focus on first principles. I will look at some examples. I want to believe we all have the notes with us. How many of you have written your note?
What? I've written mine, sir.
All right, so you can.
I've written mine.
Okay, good. It's fine. Let's just continue. I'd just like to be sure people are following. Now, what is differentiation from first principle? What is it all about? This is the fundamental way in which the gradient of each new type of function is found. Are we together? Is found. Although there may be shortcuts, but it is highly imperative to know this basic method. Now, there are different methods, actually. However, understanding this first principle, it is basic and it is very, very interesting to go about. By the time we start looking at the example, you will see that it is very straightforward. You may have other methods. I used to tell engineering students that actually there are shortcuts. However, it's also very important for you to be able to follow up first with the basic rule. So now we want to see the first principle. Now, to explain that, I would like you to observe this graphical representation of what rate of change we are talking about. And this chart will explain it better. Follow me here. This is 0. This is your X. This is your Y. Now, your Y is actually f of X. Some of you will remember from functions, right? That your Y is f of X. Function of X is your Y. Your Y, the changes in Y is as a result of the going on in X. Mute your microphone, please. Mute your microphone. Mute your microphone, please. We are hearing somebody saying, please mute your microphone, please. Are we together? Class, all right. So let's continue. Now look at this chart carefully, just like it is just a gradient chart showing the change that happens. From the earlier class we already talked about Y to be equal to function of X. Now look at this. From 0, your movement to the next point is called function X of X1, f of X1, and moving a step further is function f of X2. Now, consider this other side, your x-axis. Your x-axis. You know, we already talked about the y-axis, and y is actually based on the changes in function of x. Now, considering from 0, this is x-axis, this is your x1, and this is your x2. Now, if you want to see the change in Y. You know, you can only now talk about function f x2 minus function x1. That's the change in Y. Don't forget that Y itself is equal to function of x. Now, if you want to see the change that has happened in Y1 and Y2.
I can't hear what I'm saying now.
Who is that? Okay. It takes me a lot of time to mute everybody. We have about seven person online. And that's why I expect you to mute yourself immediately you come in, please. Ask your questions. I will answer through chat. Ask your question. I've told you, it's not time for attendance, guys. It's not time for attendance. It's currently time to ask questions. We'll still take attendance. This time is for questions, so that we will not miss questions. We are only asking questions now. It's not time for attendance yet. We'll take attendance later. Are we together? Mute your microphone, please. Ask your question. Oh, Ajaite Milolua, it must be your network. Other people, I'm sure other people can see my face and can also see the screen. Other people can see my face and also the screen. Okay, who else is asking question? Okay, so let's continue, please.
Oh.
Are we together? Why are these people disturbing my with all these? Please now, just hold on and just follow the class, please. All right. So, like I was saying, we are currently here for you to check the change in Y. That's why when you see D, there are two ways for using the sign for change. It can either be either like this, or you have your normal D. So when you are talking about the change in
It sounds as if you are stammering.
The change in Y is now like looking at the difference from this fx of 1 and fx of 2. That is the first thing you have to bring in mind. However, the change in x itself is just the difference between this x2 and x1. And don't forget that everything tends to what? It tends to 0. So the x actually tends to 0. Are we together, class? So that brings us to the formula first. The formula for first principle, it gives us that limit x tends to x1, f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. You will understand this better as time goes on. Now let's check the first example so that we can move on. Please, you can on your microphone now and ask questions if you didn't understand what I explained earlier. Anybody with any question?
I don't understand. I don't understand how you get that F2, F1.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand the table.
Okay, let's go back. Let me go back.
I don't understand though.
Calm down. Just calm down.
So I don't understand too. I don't understand.
Calm down. Are we back to where you didn't understand now? Can we re-explain this part?
Yes. From the graphical.
Everybody, please mute your microphone now. I want to explain.
I don't understand.
From the graphical representation, I don't understand from there.
That's what I'm explaining now. That's what I want to explain now.
So I can't hear you. I know you.
That's from the graphical representation. Okay.
Are we together now? Who are these people disturbing my screen now? Hello, guys.
Yes, sir.
Nobody should talk. I want to explain what we have here. Okay. Calm down, and I want to go about the explanation one more time. Look at this graphical representation. We have are we together now? Look at this graphical representation, guys. It's talking about what happens naturally, about the change that occurs between Y and the change that occurs in X. Now, follow me. Look at this place. This is Fx1. When you take a move from X1 to X2, let's assume that you have 5 here and you have 7 here. For you to know the change that has occurred here, you will need to remove X1 from X2. Then your answer will be 2. How many of you agree with that?
Okay. Okay, yes, sir.
If I want to know your weight from going home when you are in school and when you are now at home. Hello guys, get this very well. Get this illustration very well. When some of you were
they don't take Indomie from there, so you buy 10 Indomie.
Hello. Mute the microphone. You are wasting our time. You are really wasting our time.
I can't even hear what this man is saying.
Please mute your microphone.
I can't hear you, sir.
Sir, we don't understand. I swear. We don't understand.
What's going on?
So I don't understand though.
I'm just looking for a way to mute everybody once and for all so that I can explain this to you. I've told you to only ask questions through chat so that your 3 people can be asking the same question at a time. We won't be able to move forward.
Sir, I don't understand.
Mute your microphone, mute your video also. It will help us a long way. Mute your microphone and your video. The focus is for you to listen to this class.
I'm not hearing you. Why are you?
I will not see you again.
You cannot see me again. Just you can at least you can see the screen. That's all that is most important.
Sir, please continue.
Network is bad.
Maybe your network.
Mute
your microphone, mute your video. All right.
Can we please continue?
You people should calm down now. You people should let us talk one by one.
People should chat too. Send your message to the chat, but that will be it where. If all of us are speaking at the same time, we will not hear the man very well. We should communicate through the chat. So it will be very, very good for us to hear what the teacher is saying.
I'm just trying to see if I can find a way to mute everybody once.
Let's talk one by one, please. Let's calm down.
Let's communicate through the chat box.
Can we continue now?
Sir, you know we do that and I cannot hear you.
If we communicate through the chat box, it's very easy for us to hear.
Hello guys, listen. Hello guys, listen. Now the point is, this video, I will still upload it for you, all of you, to be able to watch later. Now, the more you are wasting our time, we have not done anything. The reason I made this thing live is so that you can ask questions. If you want to ask questions, ask through chat so that we can move forward. I already got. Nobody should ask questions. Use chat alone. Use chat alone. All right. So, like I was saying, it's just like we want to check the change that has occurred to some of you, your weight, after you left school. So before you left school, we decided that we are going to take your weight. So we discovered that, let me use Nimilo for instance. Nimilo's weight was actually 45 kg before she left school. Now, by the time Nimilo be coming back to school, which is now FX of in the bush now, Nimilo is now 50 kg. For us to know the change that has happened in the weight of Nimilo, we will remove former measurement from the current measurement. That's how we'll be able to know the current change that has happened in the weight of Nimilo. And that's why you have it that the change in this Y is you removing the first fx of 1 from fx of 2. The same thing happens down here, that we focus. Hello, please, nobody should call me. If you call me, it will affect the ongoing class. I'm using my hotspot, my phone hotspot. So the same thing that I just explained here also work for the X. That for you to get the change in X, you just remove former X from current X. With that, you will understand the change in X also. Did you get that now? So the change in X, normally from functions, you remember in class, I told you Y is a function of X. Y is equal to f of X. And that's why you see us having this part as f of X1, f of X2. That's for Y. So instead for you to have Y2 minus Y1, we know that Y1 is equal to fx of 1, Y2 is equal to fx of 2, and that's how you have it at fx of 2 minus fx of 1. And that's why you have dy dx. Change in your y over change in your x. By the time let me use this example, the next example, let's use real example so that some of us can understand better. Let's use this example so that we can really understand better.
So let's go to the example.
Now, if y is equal to 3x plus 2, you want to differentiate this now. That's the whole idea. You want to differentiate y is equal to 3x plus 2. You want to differentiate y is equal to 3x plus 2. Now look at this. If y is equal to 3x plus 2, now the first thing, you just have to get the idea working here. Y, now when you see equation like this, y is equal to 3x plus 2, what do? You just add change to y, you will add change to x. So that will give you something like this. Let me quickly share something with you so that you understand what I'm talking about. So that will give you something like you have, the question is y is equal to, 3 3x plus 2. That's the question. Now, the whole idea is that you will add a change to y and you add a change to x. What am I saying? So you now have something like y plus change of y itself. Y plus, you can use d as change of y. Y plus change of d equal to 3. Now, anywhere you see x, you will now add change of x to it. So that will now give you 3 into brackets x plus change in x. That is the concept of first principle. As long as you can get this concept, you are good to go. That you know that y itself, you will add change in y to it, and you will add change in x to x. That's all. That is a concept that is working out here. So that's what we did here. We added now we added y dy. We added it to y. You see, this is y. So we added the y to it. This is your normal 3. We added the x to that x, and that's all. That's a concept that works here. If you can understand this, then you are good to go. You understand the notes directly. That's what really
I don't get that, sir. I don't get that, sir.
I ask you to only ask questions via chat.
Okay.
Okay, I'll come again. Y is equal to 3x plus 2. We are not saying that for you to differentiate this, you will add the x, the y, sorry. Oh. You add the y to y. Are we together? Then you add the x to x. Y is changing and x is equally changing. That's all. Did we get that? Y is changing and x is equally changing. That's why you're adding the y to y and you're adding the x to x. Are we together? Okay, good. Okay, good. I think some people are already getting the idea now. The idea is you already have the equation. They ask you to differentiate 3x plus 2. Differentiate y is equal to 3x plus 2. The answer we are expecting should give us something like y dx. So now the first thing you do is you add change. You will add the change to both sides. You add the y to your y, and you add the x to your x. That's all. So that's how you now have y plus the y. When you multiply this bracket, you try to open this bracket, you have 3x, then you have 3dx, then you have plus 2. From function, some of us should be able to understand this thing basically. Now, moving from this part, you cannot trace your y. We move from this side, from left-hand side to right-hand side. You know the sign we change to minus. That's how we now have minus y. And what is our y in the first place? Our y was 3x plus 2. That's what we have here. So you have your minus and you have your y to be equal to 3x plus 2. You have it here. Then you bring it in. Minus times 3x, you have minus 3x. Minus times 2, you have minus 2. At the end of the day, minus 2 we cancel plus 2, and minus 3x we cancel 3x. So you are not left with the y is equal to 3 dx. Now, what are the 2 steps? I would like you to write this thing down so that you will understand it better. Step 1 is that you will add the y to y side. You will add the x to x side. Did you get that? You can write that one down now. Write that one down. Step 1, add the y to y side and add the x to x side. Did we copy that? That's step 1.
Sir, please come again.
You will add y. Step 1. Step 1. You will add the y to y and you will add the x to x.
Sir, please come again. Please come again.
You may not be able to.
What's up?
You may not be able to see this. Add step 1. First principle. Step 1. Okay, I would make sure. I told you it's not time for attendance. All of these people want the attendance so that I can get the question itself. Step 1. Add the y to y. Add the x to x. That's what we did here. The y, we added it to y. The x, we added it to x. Did you get that? After you are done doing that, you do normal substitution. Then step 2 is that you will divide both sides by the x. Divide both sides. Step 2. Step 2. Divide both sides by the x.
Come again.
Okay, don't worry. See from my chart. Check my chart. I'll drop it on the chart. Check this chart. Check my chart. Step 1. Add the y to y and add x to x. I'm hearing you. Come on, can. I ask you to mute your microphone. That's step 1. Step 2. Solve the equation and divide both sides by dx. Don't forget that our focus, I already sent the instructions there. Don't forget that our attention is to have an answer called dy dx. First step we did is that we added the y to y, we added the x to x. Then we solve for the equation and we have dy to be equal to 3 dx. Now divide both sides by dx. So you now have what we call dy, dividing both sides by dx. So you now have dx here is equal to 3 dx over dx. You know dx will cancel. When you take the limit, your answer will now be equal to dy over dx will be equal to 3. That is the final answer. Now let me quickly give you this trick. The way it works.
Sir, please come again. I don't understand.
Okay, all right. I hope you know we are in class and I know who is speaking and I know what you are saying.
Please check the chat now. We already said this in the chat.
This class is going to be on YouTube. Please, can you add my chat at least for crying out loud? Okay. So like I was saying, the first step was that we added the y to y, we added the x to x. Then we solved for the question and we came up with dy is equal to 3 dx. Now we divide both sides by dx. So you have dy over dx to be equal to 3 dx over dx. So that means dx will cancel dx. When you take the limit of both sides, to be 0. So your dy over dx will now be equal to 3.
Sir, please, I don't understand. Sir, please.
You don't have to understand everything in class. Look at it again after the class. So your answer is now dy over dx to be equal to 3. And that's your answer. So as...
Sir, please, when are you going to answer our question?
Okay, you have a question there already. A whole lot of step 2, solve the equation and divide both sides. Here is your question. I can't find your question on the chat.
Is your brake faulty? But choose that. So.
Are we together now? Are we together? Now, that's first equation. Maybe by the time we explain second equation, some of you will understand better. We can't waste our time on first equation. This is what we face in class normally. So let's follow up with example 2. Let's follow up with example 2 and see if this is example 2. If y is equal to 4x squared plus 2x plus 1, differentiate from the first principle. Differentiate from the first principle. Now, let me tell you the shortcut to this. Hear this shortcut. However, if I ask you to use first principle, that shortcut may not work. Let me tell you the final answer from this. Multiply these 2 by 4. What will it give you? 4 times 2 will give you what? 8.
8.
Now, remove 1 from that 2. What will it give you left? So you have 8x. There is 1 here. 1 multiplied by 2 gave you 2. So there is no x here. So this one will be cancelled. So your final answer would actually be 8x plus 2 by the time we will be done. This is the shortcut to it. And let me show you that shortcut also. The first equation, this is 3x plus 2. Are we together? 1 that, x is raised to power 1 here. Actually, x is raised to power 1. So 1 multiplied by 3, the answer will give you 3. Now, 1 minus 1, x raised to power 0 is 1. That was why our answer, our dy dx was 3. Is somebody following me with that shortcut?
Hello, sir, I don't understand.
Hello. I'm trying to show you.
Sir, please continue.
So I'm trying to show you the shortcut that works here.
Sir, please
However,
It's breaking.
I wish I can mute everybody. Having about 85 people online at once, you don't expect that everybody should understand at a time. Calm down, you will understand along the line. Calm down, you will understand along the line.
Hello, sir.
Calm down, stop asking me questions, Samuel. You will understand along the line. Calm down. Ask questions through chat only. You are really dragging us back. Okay, no, okay, good. No, I return back to question 1. Thank you, Aluko Oluwaseun. I return back to question 1. Redmi is asking, must we follow this exact step? Yes. If I ask you to use first principle, you must follow this step. And obviously, I will ask you to use first principle. The idea is to check your idea of all principles. So I'm only trying to quickly show you the shortcut so that you can know the answer even before you start working it out. So you will be sure whether you got the answer right or not. Did we get that? So if you are going about, now let's look at example 2. Example 2 will explain it better to you. Look at this example, 4x squared plus 2x plus 1. 4x squared plus 2x plus 1. So the idea is what this x is raised to, this is raised to power 2, multiply that 2 with the coefficient of x squared. That's why you have 2 times 4 will give you 8. Remove 1 from that 2. That's how you have 8x. Now, you have 2x here. 1 times 2 give you 2. Remove 1 from 1 is 0. So that's why the answer will give you 8x plus 2. The answer will give you 8x plus 2. But let us follow first principle. This class focuses on how to use first principle for your differentiation. That's the focus of this class. Now, look at this. What was the first principle? What was the first step I said you should do? I asked you to add what? The y to y and add the x to x. Are we together? Now look at what we have here. We added the y to y and we added the x to x. However, this is square. That's the square. This is your 4. That's your 4. Did we get that part? Look at for 2x. We added the x to x multiplied by 2. That's how we add 2 into bracket x plus dx plus 1. I'll take that again for the purpose of people that missed it the first time. By the time you watch this video again, you will understand this thing better. I will send you the video of this webinar again so that everybody can read. So just calm down and follow. Why? I ask you to, step 1, add the y to y and add the x to x. That's what you are doing here. So we added the y to y. For this place, we added the x to x. This is our square. This is our 4. Now for this part, this is our 2. We are adding the x to this x here, and that's all. Now you solve the equation. When you are solving the equation, I think solving this equation should not be a problem. We had really taken our time in class to solve all this. This is already quadratic equation. Is somebody with me?
Yes, sir. Continue.
Oh, so
yes, I can go.
Bukola has even gone ahead. Bukola has gone ahead to know that the equation does not work for everything. Very good, but let's take it one by one. That's the focus. I remember when I was taking you a particular class, I was telling you the reason why we have to try the next step, that this rule can work for this, but may not work for the next. So let's focus on what we have here now. We are on first principle. When you open this bracket, you should have something like this. This is quadratic equation. And I don't think I need to start explaining this here. I have taken my time to explain it very well in class. You have this. Now multiply 4 by what you have here. First step was like you open this bracket, you break this, you have this. Now multiplying 4 by it, then you have this. 4 times x squared, you have 4x squared. 4 times 2x dx, you have 8x dx. 4 multiplied by dx square x, you have 4 dx square x. Plus 2 multiplied by x, you have 2x. 2 multiplied by dx, you have 2 dx plus 1. That's what we had. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next step is to transfer y to the other side. So we transfer, we used to have y plus dy. Now we've transferred this y to the other side. That's the y you are seeing here. So we now have dy to be equal to this. Is somebody following us? Now, when you have,
yes, sir.
Now, what is your y itself? Your y is actually 4x squared plus 2x plus 1. But remember that you now have minus y. So that means your y must multiply everything you have in what y is. So that means there's a step missing here. There is a step missing here, everybody. And what is that step? Check it in chat. Let me drop it for you on text, on chat. So you should have something like minus into bracket 4x 4x squared. Let's assume this is 4x squared. Just assume this is 4x. I hope some of you will be able to understand. 4x squared plus 2x plus 2.
He's writing it in the chat. It's math now. You're seeing it now.
Now, check your chart. Check your chart.
4x minus 4x.
Now, so this is meant to be the next step. So when you now multiply minus with 4x squared plus 2x plus 2, that is when you will, sorry, plus 1, I meant plus 1. That is when you will now have minus 4x squared minus 2x minus 1. Did somebody get that?
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Sorry to take you back.
Okay.
That expansion part from that 4 into bracket x minus the x squared. So I don't understand that expansion because when I tried doing it, I didn't get what was there. This x squared plus 2x.
Calm down. This x plus the x squared, Abby.
Yes, the expansion.
I'm not meant to explain this. You are supposed to have known this, but I will explain. Now,
yes, sir. Yes,
calm
sir.
down.
I did that.
I will explain.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
X plus dx. Let's assume this is actually x plus y. So let's change the x for y so that it will be easy for me to explain. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
I will turn this dx to y. I want to use the chart to open this bracket for you. Are you getting me? Are we together?
Okay.
Now what?
X plus y bracket. Then you have another bracket x plus y. This is what you will have. Is somebody following me? Did you get this part? That's the first step. If you are opening this bracket,
yes,
that's what you have.
Yes.
Now x times x will give you x squared. Now I will use x2 so that as to be fast. When you see x2, it means x squared. Are we together, guys? When you see 2x,
yes,
it's different. So that's x squared. Now x times y will give you what?
xy.
It will give you xy. Now y times x will give you what? Xy again. Then
Yes.
y times y will give you what? Y squared. Are you following me now?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you are not going to add that one together, what will you now have? You now have x squared plus, 2 of this will now give you 2xy. Are you getting me? Plus.
Yes, sir.
Plus y squared. Now, look at what I sent to you. Is it the same thing now?
Yes.
So you've noticed where you had your problem, your challenge, sorry. You've noticed your error, Abi?
Yes, sir.
Good. So can we continue now, guys?
Yes.
Okay, this is how a mature class is meant to be. One person per time, and I will be willing to go back. Now, if you follow that, having opened that bracket, you now multiply it by 4. You have you multiply 2 by this one. So you have 2x, then you have 2 change in x. Then your number plus 1. Now, I told you that your y has now moved from left-hand side to left-hand side. Then it turns to minus y. So minus will multiply everything in y. And what is y? Your y is 4x squared. So minus 1 times 4x squared we turn to minus 4x squared. Minus 1 multiplied by 2x, we turn to what? Minus 2x. Minus 1 multiplied by 1, we turn to minus 1. And ladies and gentlemen, you should begin to see something that some things can cancel one another here. Are we together? That minus 4x, we cancel 4x. Is somebody with me? Minus 4x, we cancel 4x. Minus 2x, we cancel 2x. Minus 1, we cancel 1.
Y broken over equal to.
Your network is not fine. Can you use that? Now, if you had written this note, you will not be having this challenge. Some of you did not write the notes.
The phone call.
If you had written the note, you will not be having this challenge because it will be like you are following it step by step. So when you cancel all those, then you will now be left with this. The y will now be equal to 8x dx plus 4 change square x plus 2 dx. That's all you will have left because you would have taken out all those parts. Then you are now on the next step. What is the next step? The next step is to divide all through by dx. Is somebody following me? Now, there is a mistake here.
Yes, sir.
This place is meant to be dx, not d alone. This is a typographical error. This is 8x dx. So you now have dy over dx to be equal to 8x dx over dx plus 4 change square x over dx plus 2 dx over dx. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, you got it to this point. If you understand it to this point, say I.
I.
I'm tired.
Okay. Idowu Daniel. Hello, guys. Please, I need to quickly move back a bit. Idowu Daniel asked a very sensitive question, which I want to answer. Idowu, I'm answering your question now. Idowu Daniel. When you have y here, don't forget. Hello, Idowu is asking us that he doesn't understand how y cross bridge. Oh my God, please.
He's not going back.
I'm not paid for this I'm doing you. I'm spoiling my own data too. I just want to engage you. So please don't make me regret this.
I gave you all the
All right. So now, I want to explain this to Idowu Daniel again. Idowu Daniel asked question. Idowu said that he does not understand how y move from left hand side to the right hand side. This is a basic mathematics that when plus move from left goes to right, it will change to minus. When minus move from left go to right, it will change to plus. If multiplication, who is that person? Mute your mic. Who is that? Don't help us too. Abba said they make her they say don't help us. Don't help me tell them. That's another noise. Mute your mic. Can't you mute it? If everybody mute their microphone, you won't have this challenge. When you have question, you just on it and you ask your question and you mute it back. Okay. So when your y move from left hand side, Idowu, please follow me here. You know, normally what we had here was y plus dy. Now we solve this equation to this point. So this y now moved to the other side, so it turns to minus y. I don't know if Idowu is getting me now. Now, what is that your y?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your y is 4x squared plus 2x plus 1. But when plus y moved to the other side, it turns to minus y. That means minus 1, we multiply everything that is here. That means minus 1, we multiply everything that is here. So that's why you now have minus 1 times 4x squared. It turns to minus 4x. Are you getting it now, Idowu? Minus 1 times 2x turns to minus 2x. And -1 multiplied by 1 turns to -1. That's how we did it there. That was what happened there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are almost close to the end of this class. So please, let's.
Oh.
I didn't say we are close. I said we are close to the end of this class. This is what I'm saying. Oh, like you're happy. Now, look at this part. Look at this part. Quickly, guys, look up. So the x, we cancel the x, Abby. When the x cancel the x, we have 8x left. Is somebody
Don't blend it.
Now,
yeah.
The x cancel the x,
Yeah.
you have 2 of the x here. 2 of the x is what you have here. So when 1 cancel 1 here, it will remain 1.
They're like 2 nigga with the behind me.
We have 2. So that's why we have the y over the x equal to 8x plus 40x plus 2. Now, if you look from this place, you are not taking limits. All of you will remember how we take limits. That let dx tend to 0. If dx tends to 0, that means 0 times 4 will give you what? 0 times 4 will give you what?
This is like from 11 to 7 to 8.
0 times 4 will give you 0. So that's why your answer, your dy dx will not be equal to 8x plus 2. Your dy dx is now 8x plus 2. That was what I showed you. Mo one class. Hello. So that's why, if you notice what I showed you in the early part of the class, you will notice that that's our final answer. Your final answer is 8x plus 1 plus 2. There is an assignment though, and it carry marks. Wait and get marks that will record. Hello, Egbon. Hello. I'm in class, Egbon. I'm in class, Egbon. Class. Are we there?
No, they are not there.
Okay, now. So now, example 3. Let's look at example 3 together. We have 4 examples actually, so we are almost rounding up. Example 3. This one is a bit tricky, but it's still the same idea. Y is equal to 1 over x. Y is equal to, we will only take attendance after the class. So all of you taking attendance now is not recognized at all. Now, look at it. Y is equal to 1 over x. The same idea, add the y to both sides. So we added the y here, we added the y here. So I'll be fast now. Now, having added the y to both sides, you know this is what we will have. Y plus dy is equal to 1 over x plus the x. Now, bringing your y to the other side, it becomes minus y. I don't think we should have issues with this. Now, what is our y? Our y is what? 1 over x. That's why we now have 1 over x plus dx minus 1 over x. Now, hello? Ẹ̀gbọ́n mo wà online ni mo ń ṣe kíláàsì yẹn lọ́wọ́. Màá pè yín tí bá ti ṣe tán. Ṣé a ti gbọ́ sà? Hello? Are we together?
Yes.
Are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm happy. Now, look at this place. Let's take it from here. So your y is equal to minus 1 over x as usual. Now we are finding the LCM as usual now. So this is x This is this one, and this is this one. We find the LCM. We want to bring everything to a place. Now, this here, we are left with what? X, Abi. X multiplied by 1 will give us X. This minus will come here. This X here, we are left with X plus dx. X plus dx multiplied by 1, you have it here. That's how we have X minus bracket X plus dx. Now open this bracket. You have minus X minus dx. That means minus X can cancel X. Is somebody with me? So if minus X cancel dx,
sir, yes, sir.
we will now have minus dx over X into bracket X plus dx. So we now have dy to be equal to change in X over X into bracket X plus change in X. Then we come with the next rule. What is the next rule? Divide both sides by what? By dx. Are we sure we have Anita in class today? I can't say Anita.
Sir.
Is Tino in this class? I think I have seen Ismail. I've not seen.
Sir, I'm in class. Anita is in class, please. Why didn't we rationalize the denominator?
No, what are we? We are going. No. You are only rationalizing when you have square root. You understand? There's no square root here. That is the last example. There is no square root here, so there's nothing called rationalization. Hello, Tinu. Are you there?
The place that you rationalized.
I did not rationalize anything here. Okay. Okay. All right.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay. Somebody else wants to ask this question. Ismail, are you still online? I saw Ismail signed in the other time. Ismail, are you online? Okay. Can we continue, please? Ladies and gentlemen, who get picking there? Who get picking there? Put your children in vibration if they are making noise. That's by the way. Can we continue?
Very funny.
Can we continue now?
So funny.
Can we continue now? So we divide 3 by dx. So that's how you have divide dx is equal to this divided by this. Now you remember what I taught you in the last class? Now it will not change to 1 over multiplied by 1 over dx. Did you get what happened here? That divided here turns to multiply by 1 over dx. Okay.
So I want classwork.
What happened?
The best thing is classwork.
Look at this place. Look at this place. Look at this place. Look at this place. From divided to multiply, then to now turn to 1 over dx. So that the x here can cancel the x here. Did somebody not get it now? So the x here cancel the x. Did you get it up to this point?
Sir, no.
This point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue.
Okay. You change division. When you change division.
Please, I don't get it. That person is shouting, yes, sir.
What is your name? What is your name? What is your name? You that you say I don't get it.
Miracle, Aneche.
What did you call the name now?
Miracle Aneche.
Okay, Aneche. Yeah, I remember you now.
Miracle.
Yeah, I remember Miracle. Now, Miracle, listen.
Me, sir.
Did you get it to this point, Miracle?
This is just a diarrhea.
Yes,
somebody's
sir.
not answering me. You got it to this point, Miracle, right? Hello, Miracle.
Yes, sir. I got it to that point, sir.
Very good. So the next step is you divide through by dx. That's the next step. So that's how you are dividing dy by dx here. and you are dividing this place by dx. Are you getting me? Now, when you want to change division to multiplication, it will not turn to what you now change it. You remember now? Like you change it. Do you remember? You know, dx is actually dx over 1. So you now change it now turns to 1 over dx. Miracle, did you get that part now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. So dx here cannot cancel dx here. That's how they cancel each other. So we now have this minus is now here. We now have 1 over x in the bracket x plus dx. Is somebody getting me? Then we are not taking limit. Let the x be equal to 0. When the x is equal to 0, we now have what? I'm not sure Ismail is in class. Ismail, I want to be sure
Yes,
you're in class.
So we are still writing, please. So we are still writing.
You did not check it from your notes. I sent the note to your class now.
It's not there, sir.
You can't tell me it's not there. It's there. Hello, everybody. Is that part in your notes? Eniola, you want to show us that you are drinking something, Abi?
Excuse me, sir.
Okay. So when you're eating,
Sir, please give us 1 minute to write, please.
mute your microphone, please. Mute your microphone, please. Mute your microphone, please. Hello. All right. So let me explain this last part. So when your x tends to 0, your dx tends to 0. You take limit, and dx tends to 0. So you now have x multiplied by x is what? X squared.
Who is that?
X multiplied by x is x squared. That's why you now have the y dx is equal to minus 1 over x squared. All right. If you want to, change it, but you can leave your answer. This is your final answer. The y over the x is equal to minus 1 over x squared. Final example 4. After this, we take our attendance.
Thank God. Attendance, no. Hey.
Attendance.
I have focus. I want to ask questions. I'll give this to the person that got the question right. Are we ready?
We don't want.
Okay, guys. Can we start the next?
She's just sitting here. We don't
start
focus.
the last example.
Fucking mute microphone.
Attendance.
Are we ready?
Some people write attendance for that so that I'm not in the class. So sorry.
No, don't worry.
Sorry about that.
It's not yet time for attendance. It's not yet time for attendance.
So, find it.
Hello.
I don't. Why do you look like this?
Off your microphone, please. You are wasting our time. When you are ready, let me know. Are you ready? All right, example 4. Y is equal to 1 over square root of x. So for the person that was talking about rationalization the other time, this is where we are going to rationalize.
Sorry, sir. Please, how are we going to write attendance?
All right. Hello, guys. Let's pick that one once and for all and hit it down. So y is equal to 1 over square root of x. Just like I taught you, first step, you will add the y. Abi, we added the y here. We added the x here.
Online class.
We added the y here, and we added the x there. Are you following me? Now, the next step, what's the next step? You will bring your y to the other side. This is the y. Then what is your y? Your y is now minus 1 over root 2x. Now you find the LCM as usual. So you have this and you have this as your LCM. Now this in this, you have this left. This times 1, you have this. Excuse me. So this is minus, this is your minus. If you bring this one in, then you have this left. That's why you have this. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
For those of you taking attendance, you are only making me use right questions. It's not time for attendance. I can't see people's questions, or even if they ask questions. I don't know why people start taking attendance. Okay, now wait. Okay, off your mic now if you are in a public place. Okay, so we have the mic. Well, you didn't get how you understand. Do you understand how you put here? I need answer, please. Do you understand how we got here?
Yes, sir.
Somebody is saying you. The idea is simple. The same idea we have SCM. The same idea we have been using. You just find the SCM here. So this one here, so you have this one left. This one times 1, you have root x. This one here, you have this one here. This one times 1, you have this. This is this minus here. So, now this is where we have to be very attentive so that I don't want to. I will explain this part twice. I will not explain this place twice. I will not explain this part twice. So please calm down. Nobody.
Oh, keep quiet.
Okay. So to take the limit is therefore necessary to rationalize. To take the limit is therefore necessary to rationalize the numerator. I have taught you rationalization last week or the upper week before we went on break. We also had rationalization. So I will not waste my time explaining rationalization here. This is what we are rationalizing. So you change this one to plus and you use it to multiply both sides, the numerator and denominator. Did we get that part? Now, yes. Now, so when you multiply the numerator, let me walk you through it so that you understand. Root x multiplied by root x will give you x. Root x multiplied by square root of x plus change of x. So that's how you now add them together. You have this and you have this. Now, minus this multiplied by root x, then you have minus this. Now, the last part.
Daddy,
root x.
are you using your phone?
You know, you have minus. Hello, this place is where some of you may commit error. I'd like you to follow.
All right, sir.
You know, you have minus here. Are you getting me? What actually happened?
Yes, sir.
Hello, listen, everybody. I don't want you to make mistake here. This is the part I need to explain. What actually happened is this. Check your chart. I will drop something on your chart. for you to know what actually happened. For you to know what actually happened. When you multiply both, what you had was minus into brackets. Where do I find square root now? I can't find square root, so how do I put it? Just assume that's x minus in bracket x. Who is this person and what's all this? X plus dx.
Okay. I will tell the person if you say
so when you now multiply x by when you now multiply minus by it, you now have minus x minus dx. Everybody check your chart to understand what happened there. What played out here is actually minus into bracket x plus dx. This minus into bracket x plus, square root, we cancel square root. So it is when you now multiply that minus by x that it will give you minus x. That minus by dx that it will give you minus dx. Did you get that part, please? Hello, guys. Did you get that part?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now, this damn part will just get this one will be here and this one will be here. Now, if you look at this one will cancel this from rationalization rule. This cancels this. So you are not left with x minus dx. X minus x minus dx. That's what you are not left with. And you agree with me that x will cancel minus x. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Now have minus the x over everything here. Then the next thing you do is what? You divide both sides by the x. For those of you deliberately disturbing us, no problem. I won't go by it again. When you divide both sides by the x, you will have this here, then you have this here. And just like we did in the previous example, you will change your division to multiplication. So it will turn to the x, so that the x can cancel the x. So you now have the y over the x to be equal to minus 1 over root x, all this. Now, the final step you take is what? What is the next step you take? Jesus. Is that person?
how are you? How's your daughter?
Now, the final step that you take here is what?
That's your daughter.
The y over the x. You now limit the x to be 0. Let the x tend to what? To 0. Now, if the x is tending to 0, look at it, everybody. As the x is tending to 0, no, this is the x, so this one turns to 0. This is another dx, it turns to 0. Is somebody following me?
Yes, sir.
Now, square root of x multiplied by square root of x, what will it give you?
X.
It will give you x. Thank you very much. So that's how you now have when you multiply these together, you now have x squared, x into bracket. Now, if you consider this part, if this x multiply this, you now have 2. Because 2, this is now 2. Hello, are we there? Hello, are we there? So you now have x out into bracket 2 root x. X into bracket 2 root x. You can, this will naturally give you what? X times 2 will give you what? 2x. Are we together, guys?
Yes, sir.
So that's how you have your x into bracket 2 root x. And if you look at that further, you can now have it as 2x raised to power 3 over 2. You agree with me that square root is actually raised to power minus 2 if you want to change it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So that's how we have, square root raised to power half, I meant. So that's how you now have 3 over 2. 2x raised to power 3 over 2. Don't forget this half. You're already having too many divisions. And your final answer will now come out as minus half x raised to power minus 3 over 2. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we've come to the end of this morning's class. I want to attend a question.
Thank God.
Hallelujah. That you didn't understand. You can ask your question now.
How is it minus 3 over 2?
Sir.
I have a question.
After this,
Mr. Ife.
yes.
Hey, I don't understand this thing.
It's time for attendance.
3 over 2. No, 1 over 2.
Yes, thank you. It's supposed to be 1 over 2. I don't understand why.
Which
I
one
don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Outside multiplying it.
Sir, come back.
Sir, come back. Mr. Ife, I don't understand though.
I'm annoyed.
X now.
Let's talk about attendance. Let's talk about attendance.
I don't understand. How will 2 root x change to 3 over 2? It should be 1 over 2 now. It shouldn't be 3 over 2.
Attendance is 5 marks.
Everybody, let's laugh.
Your name, your department, your department, and your matric number.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. God bless you,
I
sir.
will share. Hello. I will share your assignment.
Mr. Ife.
The assignment must be submitted latest tomorrow.
It's Wednesday. I don't get. I still with my assignment notes.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
You didn't calm down, and I won't talk again.
I don't get.
The bedroom final.
Let's talk on after the other, please.
Information about the assignment on the group chat.
Hello. If you actually gain something from this class, say hi. So it's not a wasted effort, Abi.
Hi. No, it's not.
Understand it very well. I will upload this on my YouTube channel.
Sir, thank you for the class.
I will upload it on my YouTube channel.
Sir, please, more information on the group. Thank you.
Yes.
Please, excuse me, Mr. Ife. I have a question.
The assignment will be on the group.
I have a question.
Bukola. Bukola.
You too.
Speak Shagam so that speak is able to answer you.
This one.
So question marks are
Excuse me, sir. Please, I have a question.
No, but you're not group chat.
Because I'm not doing like this now.
Ask your question on the group chat.
I don't understand.
Ask your question on the group chat, I beg.
Okay. So if you want to leave, you can leave. It's not my fault. That's for attendance. Go in.
Are we okay? All right. All right.
You are taking your assignment. You are good. You can leave.
Let's see.
Ismail,
Okay.
I did not hear you. Ismail.
Mr. Ife, you cannot hear me. Can you hear me now?
Ismail, are you there?
Bukky, o ṣe wá ń rọjú bẹ́ẹ̀.
Are you there?
Mr. Ife.
What's your problem?
This guy.
Hello, guys. I miss you all.
Mr. Ife.
What do you now?
All right, guys. See you.
Hunsu.
Same time, same venue.
Yeah,
how are you?
Good, bruv. I'm good, bruv.
Sir, can we leave now? We leave now.
As soon as you are done taking your attendance.
Please, are we done?
Guys, stop disturbing now. Close it.
Can I have my data? Sir, can I have my data?
Every power journalism.
Enjoying active kids.
Sir, can we leave now?
You can leave. Keep praying for Nigeria. You will receive your assignment.
I swear, I don't know.
I will tell you how you
Sir, can I have my data?
Leave it on.
Can we leave?
Yes, now.
Can I have my data? Beg, don't do long.
You can leave. You can leave.
You cannot go anywhere. But you go, I don't like that one. Just hold it up. Nah, man. I will leave it for
Are you through with attendance? Are we through with attendance?
Yes, sir, we are through.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I beg, my name is show for attendance.
Are we through with the attendance? Are we sure?
Yes, sir. No, we are not through.
Hosseini, how are you? Alia, how is that you?
Like this now.
Don't go out, so please stay at home and keep praying for Nigeria.
It's a nice writing.
Start.
Please, only attendance. Only attendance.
Mr. Ife.
Ma.
So how am I going to write the matric number?
Is that?
Your phone is not here.
I can't hear you.
The matric number and the attendance.
And you didn't write your own?
No, see it.
That's another version of fighting.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear what I'm saying?
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, the fuck.
Well, I'm hearing you.
This stuff is
I tell you, speak Ijebu. Are we through? Are we through with attendance? I want to copy it too. Once I talk, I will see you guys.
God! Yeah, what happened? You don't mad or lie. I've written my name in attendance, so I hope it's showing.
Please, where's the attendance now?
You have to write the attendance.
How will somebody write attendance?
Me, I came. Come and tell me that.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I want to wish you to get
to the end. Don't have it.
See you on our group chat. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. I love you all.
Oh, let me reply.
Not on.